Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been gone for ages, but I'm back now and I'm here with a guest. You may know him as Earl Blackman from his YouTube channel. I'll leave his links below. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, so today we are talking about, we were looking at different topics to talk about and we didn't really know what to film until I started talking about like maybe controversial topics that people may not usually talk about. So we decided on alcohol today. Oh, do you drink?
It depends. I'm a bit. How do you go? How do you go? Yes and no.
Explain.
Yes and no. I drink sometimes, and then there's times I don't drink. For example, if we go out, say me and my friends go out to a restaurant or something like that, and we go, like some of my friends will get drinks. I won't get a drink, but that doesn't mean, it's not because I don't like believe in anything. It's just literally because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
But
you just don't like drinking alcohol.
Exactly. Yeah. But there's times where, like for example, my dad, he was in one of his fathering moods. I think he wanted to have a moment, and he was drinking. He was having alcohol in it, and so he offered me like a little glass of rum and stuff like that. So for the sake of, because me, I could be awkward.
And be like,
no. But for the sake of that father and son moment, I was you know what? Let me just go ahead with it.
Yeah.
But that's my life story when it comes to alcohol, really. But yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I drink. As some of you guys know, if you follow me on social media, especially Snapchat, when you see me out.
Sorry, 1 second. Where am I supposed to be looking?
There.
So even when you're talking, I'm going to be looking at the camera.
You can look at me too.
Okay.
Like we're having a normal conversation.
Okay. Cool.
But just be aware
that people are there.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, cool.
So when I go out, like you guys see me on Snapchat and stuff, I do have a drink or three. I have quite a few, but I don't let it get to a point where I'm out of control. That's like my limit kind of thing. That's how I know, okay, you've had too much. Like if I can't walk, that's a clear sign you've been drinking way too much.
So what about if you're tipsy?
I don't have a problem with being tipsy personally, but for me, I feel like tipsy means different things to different people. For me, tipsy is like, I'm just happy. I'm happy, I'm sociable, and I'm just talking to people, but I can still control myself. I can still walk pretty much in a straight line. I can still, form sentences, that kind of thing.
So that's your definition of tipsy. That's how you.
That's how I define it. Yeah, but being drunk to me is where, we both agree that that's off limits.
Tipsy for me, from back in the day when I used to drink and do all that kind of stuff.
Because he was a roadman before he found Christ. I find that such a cool story.
But yeah, I was like, tipsy was, I don't know, ever since I've been saved, they've introduced this new word which is waved. Now,
waved.
I don't know what. I imagine waved. My definition, I don't even know if waved is even drinking or.
It is. It can be both.
Okay, so my definition of tipsy would, for me, feel like wave, like when you're a bit like, when you get to that pace when you're not drunk, but it's just like, yo, fuck.
Yeah.
There. That's what I describe as tipsy. So.
Yeah. That's similar. Yeah, but I just make sure I'm always in control. I've done a blog post on this, which I'll show in Earl as well. Which talks about why I'm a Christian. Sorry, why I drink as a Christian. So I'm just going to read some like verses that like kind of go into kind of the fun and safe side of consuming alcohol. So Ecclesiastes 9 verse 7. I mean, anyone who like knows the Bible fairly well knows that Ecclesiastes and Proverbs talks about drinking positively quite a lot anyway. It talks about it negatively at some points, but those two books talk about alcohol quite a bit. So Ecclesiastes 9 verse 7 instructs, drink your wine with a merry heart. Then Psalms 104, I really feel like it's a David thing, because Psalms, Ecclesiastes, Proverbs, maybe him and Solomon had a little fun drinking vibe.
As well,
yeah, but God was always with. Okay, anyways. Psalms 104 verse 14 to 15 says that God gives wine that makes glad the heart of men. Amos chapter 9 verse 14 discusses drinking wine from your own vineyard as a sign of God's blessing. And yeah, there's quite a few that talks about, so go eat, drink your food with joy, drink with a merry heart, that kind of thing. The Bible talks about it a lot. Now, obviously, like as Earl was saying, there's a lot of people that may disagree with that.
There's gonna be. No matter how clear cut you put it, no matter if you put scriptures in their face, no matter if you can prove it,
in their face.
people will always find a way around it. But from these scriptures, no one can say anything. No one can say anything.
It's so clear. That to me, I feel like it's so clear cut.
It's there. It's
And
the
then
word of
obviously
God.
Jesus turning water into wine at a party so people could continue having fun. I just
Drinking. If Jesus had an issue with people drinking, then he wouldn't have turned water into wine, because that would have made him a hypocrite. Because he's then
That's
encouraging
true.
people to drink. So.
Yeah, to get drunk rather.
So.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
If he didn't agree with drinking, he would have turned it into Vimto or Fanta or something like that. So the fact that he turned it into wine, what are you saying, bruv?
Yeah, no, I get that. That's a good point. Obviously, like a lot of people talk about being like just being careful with drinking, because you don't want to lead your younger. I think it says in the word, don't lead the younger Christians to sin if they see you doing something that may be okay for you but not okay for them. And then Earl was talking about when you're going out with your sister and your cousin.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, one time, we was at one of my sister's birthday parties. I've got plenty of sisters. But one of my sisters, it was her birthday party. We was in this Chinese restaurant called Beijing Inn, and one of my sisters is Muslim, and she was there. And I was very conscious of the fact that how I appeared, because when it comes to our beliefs, we're very at each other's throats, kind of thing. When it comes into religion, like that's when relationships break. So I'm very, as a Christian, I know that okay, she's looking at me in a certain light, in a certain way. So I'm thinking, okay, my cousin was drinking. He drinks when he goes out. He doesn't get drunk, but he drinks when he goes out. Just that's what he does.
That's what he does.
No problem with that. But he was drinking again this time, and he said, "I'm going to buy you a drink." And I was like, "No, I don't want to drink because I'm aware of who I'm in front of." And I didn't want it to come across a certain way, because you know other religions, other people that don't agree with it, and they're gonna always try and find a way to bring you down or try and pinpoint why you're wrong or something like that. So I was like, you know what, let me not even go there, let me not even drink. Long story short, he ended up buying me a drink anyway, and I was just like, okay, cool. And so as soon as he put it in front of me, my sister turned around, the one that's a Muslim, she turned around and she was like, oh, I thought he was a Christian. And so immediately she was like judging me and saying all this kind of stuff like that. Now, there's nothing wrong with drinking. As long as you don't get drunk, you do it in moderation, all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with drinking, but at this moment in time, I was using wisdom, and I was thinking, okay, who am I around, and how is it going to be perceived? And so, okay, immediately, I'm going to have to now start explaining why it's good for, why it's okay for a Christian to drink, why it's not bad, going into the scriptures and all that kind of stuff like that. Whereas if I didn't have a drink, all of that whole chapter would have just been cut out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, in situations, I think that you should use wisdom as well.
Wisdom.
So just like how you saying, what was you saying about being in front of people and leading other people to fall and all that kind of stuff like that. I think even though I would say it's okay for Christians to drink, God would say it's okay for Christians to drink. I also would say it's okay for Christians to drink because we just read it in a word. I think you should use wisdom as well. So
it's a tricky one. I mean, I feel like, but then I look at Jesus turning the water into wine, and you can't say that there were people at that wedding who weren't religious, who may have known about Jesus, you know, being the Messiah or even just being a prophet, but he never, in my head I'm just like, but he never ever concentrated on them. He just did it. He just did the miracle. He never questioned, oh, what does this make me look like to other people? And I don't know, that's where it comes to an issue really for me in my head.
As to what?
As to how much we should care about what other people perceive.
I think when it comes to other people's perception, we should definitely take it in mind as to how we appear to others. But one thing is, especially in Christianity, everyone has an opinion about everything. Jesus was absolutely perfect, but people had an opinion about him. So that shows me that no matter what you do, people have an opinion.
That's such a good point.
So it's good to be aware of what you look like, but you have to understand, if you're in right standing with God, the Bible says that the joy of the Lord is my strength. So as long as I know that God is okay with what I'm doing, then what other people think about me doesn't really matter, because I know that, okay, as long as I'm pleasing God and God is okay, whatever you think you need to go and sort that out with you and God, or
Yeah.
you and the devil, or wherever you're from. So,
You and the devil.
do you understand what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, because I think a lot of people obviously see me and they're like, oh, so you like, a lot of girls watch you, like you're leading people to sin. It's just like, whoa, hold on, no, I'm not. And for me, I do get concerned, because I have a lot of people that I do, my viewers who I do care about, but it's like, I won't also be a hypocrite. And perhaps what if one of my subscribers sees me out and they're like, oh, I see you drinking, but I've never revealed that side, so it makes me look like a hypocrite. So I'd rather just put it out there for you guys, explain, where I come from in my beliefs, and just leave it as that, instead of constantly focusing on what other people are gonna, especially younger Christians, because obviously the word says it. It's just like,
I think it goes back to what you said earlier when we was talking, that when we were talking about moderation, you were saying that you're not, don't take this the wrong way, everyone out there, but like you said, you're not responsible for everyone's salvation.
yeah.
So, okay, yeah, I know that doesn't mean now you should just go overboard and start doing whatever you want and say everyone needs to just work it out for themselves.
But if I'm responsible for my own salvation, then there's no way that can impact someone negatively anyway.
And it's something that I say to people all the time. Take what you want, take what you need, and leave what you don't need. So a lot of people, like, for example, this is going into something else, but we're looking at, like, we listen to men of God teach, and sometimes they might say something that we don't agree with. So it's like, okay, well, if you have such a problem, if you like them, listen to the message. Whatever you agree with, take that, use that, and whatever you don't agree with, just leave that to that. You understand what I'm saying? So, okay, like, you can see that, okay, if they see something in your life that they think, oh, I'm not really sure about that or whatever, I think that if they like you, if they're for you, investigate. And this is one thing, Christians always do this stuff. I'm not trying to bash Christians, but let's say human beings always slate what we don't understand. Instead of seeking more understanding,
trying to understand it more.
So you understand, if someone sees you drinking, they could be like, okay, send you a message, inquire, how come you're doing that? What do you reckon? What's your belief? I'm not really sure. But we would just say, oh, she's off.
She's backslidden.
Exactly. She can't, she can't be with God, or she's fallen, la 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 la. And it's just like, okay, cool. First of all, like, if you're mature, take what you want and leave what you don't want. Or you can go and inquire and say, okay, what's going on? Like, be mature about it. Come and talk and seek understanding.
That's a very good point. I never thought of that. I think it's something that we all need to do, especially like, even for like preachers that we see, like, just kind of find out why they're doing it, and if not, like, kind of not test the spirit in a literally go up to them and be like, do you believe that the Son of God, but kind of be like, what are their fruits saying? Are they bearing fruit? Are they doing this? If they're doing if they're ticking all those boxes, then there's no reason to assume that they've backslidden just because they're doing something you perhaps don't do at home. But the video's getting long now, so we're gonna round it up. But if you go on Earl's channel, links below, and his Twitter is below as well, so you can follow him and his nice beard.
Everything will be
He's
below.
also on Instagram, ladies. But so if you go on his channel, we have a video on there as well, so if you go on there, check it out and subscribe to him, then that would be so awesome. And if you have any views of your own or anything you want to say and your opinions, leave it in the comment section. And
I'm ready for the beef. There's gonna be people
we always have this for both of our videos.
There's people gonna come
for
like,
us.
But at the end of the day, like, if you just read the scriptures that we said. Like, I know the video we're supposed to be going, the video's long and stuff like that, but just read the scriptures. Just read the scriptures, like, it's there.
Just read the scriptures.
It's just there. Like, we don't even need to say nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So.
Oh my word, that's so funny. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been hilarious. Like, my neck was hurting before because he's just too much for me. But go to his channel and watch our video on there. Bye guys.